Good morning, everybody. May 2nd, 2019. It is Thursday today, and I hope your May is off to a bang-up start. Mine certainly was, the end of April and into May. There's something always kind of very nice about the month of May. Things just kind of mellow out. We reach cruising altitude for the year. May, June, July, August, and September. Cruising altitude. And then we descend into the holidays. Today I want to talk about GoFundMe's, and specifically, of course, my friend Kat, The Glamorous Life, has a GoFundMe that she's currently running, and I'm getting a lot of messaging and a lot of people asking me, why aren't you picking up the gauntlet and sponsoring and having a fundy and taking up the mantle of the GoFundMe here and staging a fundraising on your channel like you did before for other people. And I wanted to kind of address that today. Number one, let me tell you, ain't nothing come from Kat asking me to do any such thing. So I want to be perfectly clear about that, number one. It's from FOK, friends of Kat, and some other people that are wondering if that might help push things along a little bit. I just want to give a general idea of my experience. Turned out to be pretty poor when it came to GoFundMe's. Number one, and most obviously, I was a poor decider on some things that came along. You can get, people will start looking you up if you start to do fundies and you start to have some success for fundies. They'll assume that just by showing up that the money will roll in, but quite the opposite is the case. In effective fundraising, the idea is to have everything committed before you run the event. Okay, before you run the event. And then when you stage the event, for all intents and purposes, it's just theater for show. You already know what's going to come in by the end of the night. I took on too many causes back then, many of which turned out to be complete flops. Flops in the sense that some of the people were irresponsible with the money, some to a very high degree. Other ones had committed to achieving certain things and did not. I particularly remember the guy that was going to bicycle around the country and raise awareness for animal shelters by having publicity events at animal shelters as he moved through different communities, riding around the perimeter of the United States. The problem was he got halfway up the California coast from Arizona and he crapped out and it was over. So there was a lot of blowback. The real weak link of the GoFundMe thing is the performance of the people that the money is bestowed upon. It's not raising money, it's a performance. And this is not a reflection on Kat. This is just the experience that I learned as somebody that was hosting GoFundMe's and running GoFundMe's for people. It was just that if you step into the breach, and you try to help and you do take responsibility and throw yourself out there and begin or set up a fundraiser night or something like that, you're the one that's gonna suffer a lot of heat. You're the one that's gonna suffer the blowback. My idea about GoFundMe is if you want to help, help. If you don't want to help, don't stand in the way of it. You can offer an opinion as I do. And that's fine. Very measured opinions. There's people for the freedom of choice for asking something from other people. And then there's the people that oppose that because they feel that money that's not earned is money that's not appreciated and therefore money that's not well spent. Well, we start getting down into issues of what's need, what's not. And I tell you what, at the end of the day, it just ends up being a messy affair. And as we know, once you get tarred with the brush of GoFundMe's or even helping with GoFundMe's, it's a painting that lasts forever. It lasts for years and years and years. Hey, I'm all for freedom for people that do what they want to do. I wish Kat all the success in the world. I am happy to have been and will continue and ask to do so to help where I can behind the scenes. But as far as doing that type of thing for Kat or for anybody, it's not something that I would likely do again unless the situation was extreme and it was somebody, say like a Missy Jenn or something like that, that was in some type of dire need, and it would be obvious to everybody at that point. I think to me that's my comfort range of GoFundMe's. So no offense to anybody out there. It's just that in life, for me, I like to only learn a lesson one time, not multiple times. And life has been pretty good for me lately, concentrating on being on the road and concentrating on my final shakedowns, my final things to work out before being on the road basically full time. So I'm feeling pretty good about things right now. Yes, I've worked hard. I've worked hard for many years to be where I am today. So I do have a sense of pride of having done it, achieve this myself, and I feel good, and I have many friends that help me along the way these days, and I'm very grateful for that. But as far as GoFundMe's go, remember, there'll always be a high degree of accountability that maybe some of us aren't able to provide, okay? We know what the intention is, but oftentimes the failure is on the follow through. Hey, best of luck to everybody. Kat, everybody else included. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Thanks, everybody.